sing without this ridiculous paraphernalia.
People don't pay to see Reg White. They pay to see Elton John.
Sorry. Right now.
It's a trip behind the curtain for Elton John fans. Rocketman arrives in the theaters today, the latest music biopic to hit the big screen. We're loving this genre right now. And it follows the legendary rocker's rise to fame and shows us the many, well, darker moments along the way in his life. He has talked about those openly. He's given his blessing to this film. He says he loves it. I saw a great little interview with him. What does Eli think? This is our question for today. Okay, I was expecting feathers, lame, at least some sequins. Come on.
You know, spandex I'm comfortable with. Sequins, I gotta leave it to
draw the line.
So I gotta draw the line.
All right. We're loving this kind of music, as I said. Bohemian Rhapsody is probably the one that we look to most recently. Think of all the success it had and the awards it's won, and along comes Rocketman.
I mean, I think this leaves Bohemian Rhapsody in the dust, because whereas Bohemian Rhapsody was more of kind of an A to Z approach and really focusing on those amazing concert performances, this is akin to a traditional musical. Like, this is using the songbook of Elton John to tell the story of his life. It's a rock opera. It's like a movie similar to Tommy. It's a movie that starts in rehab with Elton John in full regalia, feathers and horns, sitting down to admit that he's an addict, and then we flash back. Then we see Elton as a little boy when he's a fat kid named Reggie with his mother, with his father who's barely ever home. And here's the first clue. Then they all sing together a song called I Want Love. And this is a thing of, they're taking songs from other periods of Elton John's life, changing the context, giving the song new meaning, and basically giving us a snapshot of where Elton John was at that moment in his life. So let's look at another example. Saturday Night's All Right, this kind of carnival street dance showdown where young Elton is just finding his voice. Take a look. You don't want it to stop. I just want it to keep going. So I love the creative use of the different kind of songs. Tiny Dancer, they cut to that when he lands in LA with his writing partner, Bernie. They're at a party, and then he loses Bernie to a woman. And so he starts singing Tiny Dancer as a song of loneliness and desperation as he watches Bernie walk away with someone else. But then let's go back a day just before Elton John's first performance in America. Lot on the line. He starts, he's a little nervous. The notes don't come that easily. But then, as you'll see, that tempo starts to pick up. The scene is the Troubadour nightclub. Take a look at Crocodile Rock.
Me and Susie had so much fun holding hands and skill melt stones. Had no girl Chevy and a place of my own, but the biggest thing I ever got.
And there you go. He's got his groove on, and as he has that crowd in the palm of his hand, there's a moment in that song where they kind of hit this crescendo, and everybody in the nightclub are floating. And I don't mean just figuratively. They're literally feet off in the air, just like Elton John. And that's what I love. The director, Dexter Fletcher, the guy who finished Bohemian Rhapsody after Bryan Singer was fired, has these moments where he's giving us not reality. It's not a documentary. It's the emotional truth. There you go, of what's happening. I mean, Elton has said in interviews, that's how he felt when he finally pulled it off. And so that's what you see with the songs, and that's what you hear with the real voice of Taron Egerton, who is singing, and it makes a world of difference, the integrity of knowing that the words that he is saying or singing are actually coming out of his mouth. He doesn't sound identical to Elton John, but it's his own interpretation.
Which is different from Rami Malek in Bohemian Rhapsody. So a lot of people are looking, I mean, this is considerable to take on all of that range, all of those great songs and performances. he will be new to many people. He's new to me, but you probably know him from different
The
places.
Kingsman spy series,
Yes.
you might remember that kind of
Yeah.
a very naughty James Bond
Yes.
knockoff. He was very popular in that. And, you know, considering this movie almost starred Justin Timberlake, I
Really?
think we're very lucky that we have Taron Egerton. Because his version of Elton, like, he's got steel to his spine, he's got gusto, but all of that bravado is hiding something inside. And I think it's a lot of hurt. Take a look from the trailer.
There are moments in a rock star's life that define who he is. Where there was darkness, there is now you. And it's going to be a wild ride.
So, as successful as Elton John is and becomes as we watch, I mean, he's still struggling because his mother at one point says, "You'll never find love because you're a homosexual." And so you see that even with that success, what he's behind those eyes, there's that rage, there's that sadness, that loneliness, and then the rest of the cast fleshing this out. And we see everything from his family life with actually Bryce Dallas Howard as his mother, as a young boy, Sheila. There she is. So the one thing of the casting, I don't really understand this LA actor, the daughter of Ron Howard, being cast as his very English mother. Jamie Bell does a great job as Bernie, his writing partner. But the person who really pushes him over the edge is Richard Madden as his manager. Madden is the guy who really helped Elton become this multi-millionaire rock star. There's Jamie Bell as Bernie, the writing partner. But let me show you a moment where really a breakdown in this relationship. Madden has been both a lover and a manager, and at one point they hit a breaking point. Let's take a look.
The problem is you have never understood me and what I have to go through. And you know what? I should have sacked you when you left me.
I am glad I left you. It means I can maintain some objectivity in your self-indulgent, myopic little world. Get in the studio, make some music or don't. I don't care.
Would it surprise you to know that he's rumored to be the next James Bond? He's like a fist wrapped in silk, like he's elegant, but there's that thread of brutality under the surface. So there you go. I love the bold, daring use of the songbook in this film, and I give it 4 stars out of 5.